Hey guys, Willie here with W.T.F car reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing the all-new 2023 Mazda MX-5 Miata Grand Touring with a 6-speed manual.
And a big thanks to Ben at Furman Mazda in Brandon, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to their inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car or SUV in the Tampa area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out and ask for Ben.
And for those of you guys who don't know, the MX-5 Miata has been Mazda's lightweight 2-passenger sports car since 1989. The 4th generation Miata that you see here was released in 2015, facelifted for 2019, and for 2023, not much changes outside of a new Zircon sand paint color. There are 5 trim levels for the 2023 Miata, starting with the $29,000 Sport, all the way up to the $40,000 Club RF. The Grand Touring that you see here sits right in the middle of the pack at $33,000. What else do we get for that money? Let's jump right in. So up front, you notice your LED projector headlamps with a subtle LED daytime running strip in the corner, halogen turn signal, a pretty cool light pattern in the lower left corner, also LED for the fog lights. We have a naturally aspirated engine here, so no intercooler, but we have pretty decent airflow for that radiator. This white metallic paint color is also beautiful. Hopefully you can pick it up in this Florida sun. We'll take a step out here, take a quick look at this window sticker, and then continue along with this review. So for this 2023 Miata MX-5 or Mazda MX-5 with a Grand Touring 6-speed manual, this paint color is called Snowflake White Pearl with a terracotta Napa leather interior for the GT. Standard features, you guys can pause, take a look. We get the naturally aspirated 2-liter 4-cylinder, made it to a 6-speed manual, cranking out 181 horsepower, 151 pound-feet of torque. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but with this lightweight rear-wheel drive sports car, you can still get 0 to 60 in 5.7 seconds. You guys can pause, take a look at the rest of the standard features. $33K for the MSRP. After a $1,000 destination charge and $700 paint color, we're sitting right under $35,000. 29 mpgs, 26 in the city, 34 in the highway. Of course, excellent on gas considering the super lightweight vehicle that we have here. But continuing to the other side, before we do so, actually a subtle black lip spoiler up front. The wheel and tire setup, we get these smoked chrome 17-inch rims wrapped in Bridgestone Potenza all-season tires, dimensions being 205/45 R17s. So not the widest, but with this 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder, it should be enough. We get a 4 lug pattern and what appears to be a single piston front brake caliper. Very small for the front caliper, especially for a sports car, but considering the weight, it should be enough. And if you want the beefier brakes for about $4,500, you can go for the Brembo brake package. We get all body color for the wheel well area, pretty long hood design, kind of looks very aggressive even though it's a pretty small sports car. The mirrors are body color with a black contrast underneath. The glass fills up the entire frame. We get blind spot monitoring on the glass, smart access for the driver and the front passenger, black window trim, blacked out A-pillar, and black surrounds for the windshield. Out rear, the gas cap is push to open, no easy fill. I'd recommend putting premium fuel here. Yep, Mazda also recommends throwing in premium fuel, but as you see, almost 30 mpgs, it's not going to hurt you in the wallet too badly. The rear wheel and tire setup, same thing as up front. Looks like the same exact brake caliper too, wrapped in 205/45 R17 Bridgestone Potenza all seasons. We'll see how it puts the power down once we take it out for a drive. Out rear, we get incandescent taillights, turn signals, and the reverse lights are in the corners. We get a backup camera, 2 MX-5 badge Mazda in the center, shark fin style antenna, and an old school style antenna as well. Sky Active G badge in the corner, dual exhaust tips, a single exhaust but with dual tips. And speaking of the exhaust, let's fire up this 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder and hear how she sounds. Alright guys, that was the sound of the naturally aspirated 2-liter 4-cylinder sold by Mazda for the 2023 Miata Grand Touring, and it sounds pretty good. It makes a healthy amount of power at 181 horsepower, 151 pound-feet of torque. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but with a vehicle weighing in under 2,500 pounds, you can still expect 0 to 60 in around 5.7 seconds, which is really no joke for a sports car, especially with a base price under $35,000. As you see, 2 sets of supports connecting the strut towers to the chassis and an additional support connecting those 2 supports. What you see is basically what we get. We don't get hydraulic struts here. I'm using my arm right now as a prop rod, but to be expected with an entry-level sports car. Walk around this 2023 Miata one more time, and we'll take a step inside, see what we get on the top Grand Touring trim. Well, not a top Grand Touring trim. This is the beginning of the top trim, but also several packages above the Grand Touring, like the Club RF and the Grand Touring Premium that you can get above this. But even here for the regular Grand Touring, we get Napa leather seats. They're not power adjustable, but you can still drop, lift, and slide the seats. The door panel is all hard plastic up top. It's body color with some leather stitch trim in the center, red contrast stitching, and a leather stitch armrest. It's pretty soft, but it's very small. It's not going to fit my arm, or really any full-size adult arm. It's still very comfortable, soft, padded leather. We have some faux carbon fiber around the window controls, 2-window auto on touch, lock and unlock, and you can adjust the mirrors as well. We have a 9-speaker Bose sound system on all trims above the club. As you mentioned, these Napa leather seats are really comfortable, well bolstered. They're just not power adjustable. Taking a step inside, you got to really fall into this tiny sports car. I'm a little bit over 6 feet tall, so not the easiest process overall, but foot on the brake, foot on the clutch, engine start stop, and everything fires right to life. First thing we notice is the steering wheel. It's decently thick, not the thickest. The 10-2 bolstering not just solid, but the 9-3 fits great in your hand. The horn area is hard plastic, but well grained. The horn itself, loud and aggressive. People should definitely be getting out of your way. Volume and skip controls, voice commands, and infotainment. The infotainment isn't really adjustable. You can adjust between trip A, trip B, service, do, and a turn-by-turn with the fuel level left. Trip A, trip B. Again, my personal favorite would be this screen that shows us the fuel range left. We can hang up and answer our phone calls. On the right side, we have our cruise control, and it says SRS airbag down below. We have auto headlamps and auto rain sensing wipers. That's a premium feature for a vehicle in this price point. Tilt and telescoping steering wheel. We can turn off our lane keep assist, and you can turn off the traction control. Camaro style air vents. The dashboard is hard plastic for the frame and hard plastic for the passenger side area, but that's not what you buy this vehicle for. We get a touchscreen here. I'll take this plastic off so hopefully the glare is not killing you guys. And the touchscreen also includes Mazda's navigation. I'm not quite sure if I can get it for you guys. You may need a SD card. So yes, you do need the SD card. You can get one off eBay or Amazon for about 45-50 bucks. It'll take about a day for it to program into your vehicle, but after that day, you'll have Mazda's genuine navigation. You'll save $400 or $500 in the process. But in the meantime, it shows our latitude, longitude, and elevation. Beneath that, we have our hazards. My personal favorite screen to look at all times, since we don't have a navigation, would probably be here in this application, and fuel economy monitor, and we'll leave it here throughout this review. We get hazards beneath that, an additional air vent, one old school style air vent and one Camaro style air vent for the driver. Beneath that, engine start stop. It's not dual zone automatic climate control, but technically it's automatic climate control because you can adjust the temperature and then set it to automatic on the vent stock, but it's different compared to most other dual zone automatic climate controls that I've seen. Really nothing is digital. We have heated seats for driver and front passenger, the SD card slot, 2 USB-A ports, and a aux port in the corner. Solid amount of storage here, no wireless charging pad, but that would be a good location for one. The gear selector or shifter controls a 6-speed manual transmission. We can throw it into reverse, foot on the clutch, push down, all the way left, and push forward. Now we're in reverse. Decent resolution for the backup camera, not the best resolution. We get guidance lines, but no trajectory. But it's still nice to get a backup camera. I'm sure before 2018, only the top trims for the Miatas even came available with a backup camera. But after 2018, all cars now come available with it. If you don't want to get fingerprints all over your touchscreen, you can use this dial to control the screen. You can also have shortcuts to navigation, home, music, and a perfect location for the volume and skip controls for both the driver and the front passenger. The emergency brake is outlined in this high quality leather trim. The armrest is pretty well padded. We can see if we have any storage. We have a little bit, not a whole lot. You'll probably fit a radar detector, maybe a pack of cigarettes. You're not going to fit any cans in here. Not the most spacious, but it is padded, nice spot to rest your elbow. We have an additional center cubby back here and an additional cup holder. These of course are removable. You can open up this cubby, and as you see, much more space. This is like a typical SUV center console. You'll fit at least a 12-pack of 12-ounce cans. Really not a bad amount of storage space in that cubby. Unfortunately, we don't get a glove box. The area where it would be is outlined in this leather stitch trim with red contrast stitching. That's really about it for the front seat. We don't have a frameless rear view mirror, but we have 3 garage home link settings on it, and it is auto dimming. The interior lights are not LED, but they do the job. We can open up this roof. Hopefully I don't smack myself in the head in the process. Just grab onto this latch, drop the roof. Very quick and easy process overall. And to get the roof right back, you pull this latch and the roof unlatches, and pretty easily, I'll try not to duke myself, you just fold the roof right back. Definitely the easiest in the business that I've experienced. This is even easier than a lot of power tractable convertibles that I've reviewed on this channel. You just simply click it, throw it away, click it, bring it right back. Really easy process. I'm sure you could do it while you're driving. If you're strong enough, you could probably do it even on the highway. That's about it though, guys. If you didn't mention the gauges, the tach goes to about 7,400 RPM with a 150 mile an hour speedometer. To the left side, our coolant temperature and fuel level right beneath. That's about it though, guys, for the interior of this 2023 Mazda Miata Grand Touring. Let's hop out, check out the cargo space, see how much space is offered back there, and then take this car out for a drive. So you press this button in the corner and it opens up your tailgate. As you see the opening, it's not tiny, it's about the same size opening as my Camaro, which I call tiny. And for a vehicle this much smaller, keeping an opening this size is impressive. But the trunk space itself, not impressive at all. The most you'll fit back here is 3, possibly 4 backpacks depending on the size. You'll fit a carry-on luggage, but you're not fitting a full-size luggage in here. You're not fitting a golf bag. So if you plan on golfing, plan on taking this to the airport, you'll need something a little bit bigger. But if you're just using this vehicle as a weekend sports car, maybe a daily driver to go to work, if you want to save some fuel economy compared to a truck, and it's just you in the car, it's just you in a suitcase, you in a briefcase, this is a perfect vehicle to get. That's about it though for the inside and outside of the 2023 Mazda MX-5 Miata Grand Touring. It's a beautiful vehicle inside and out. It's a little bit small for somebody 6 feet tall or bigger, but if you're under 6 feet tall and you just need a vehicle that can get to 60 under 6 seconds, you want to have fun while driving, and you don't want to spend more than 35,000 bucks, this is probably the best way to go. Speaking of fun while driving, let's take this 2023 Miata Grand Touring with a 6-speed manual out for a drive and see what it's got. All right, guys, now we're just about seen everything we need to see with the inside and outside of this all-new 2023 Mazda Miata with the 6-speed manual, Grand Touring with the 6-speed manual. Let's take it out for a drive and see what it's got. My first impressions, though, the steering is super direct. I'm sure you've all heard it a million times. This is my first time ever driving a Miata, but I've heard a million times just how ridiculously buttery smooth the steering actually is. I've also heard that this car is surprisingly quick with this naturally aspirated 2-liter engine, which doesn't make a ton of power, but with this lightweight platform, it doesn't really need to make the most power overall. We don't have automatic rev match downshifts. We gotta have to rev match it ourselves. That just adds to the fun. Take me a step out here. We can lean into a little bit in first gear. On the gas. Ooh. Guys, this thing can get up and go. I mean, I can see 0 to 60 happening in 5.7 seconds. I can see 0 to 60 happening possibly quicker. Ooh. It stays planted through the turn. Big bumps. Oh, yeah, you feel them, that's for sure. But it stays composed through the turn, throwing it in way quicker than we should. Ooh, a little bit of body roll, but it feels still very planted. Massive bumps. We'll slow down a little bit for these. Oh my God, yeah, you definitely feel the bumps, but it feels surprisingly composed. Right here, we can try out an acceleration off the line. Just lean into it, no launch, just go. Ooh. Yeah, guys, this thing can get up and go. I was not expecting this car to be this quick. And let's try a rev match downshift. Ooh, it's pretty easy to do. Oh, yeah, guys, this thing is a blast to drive. It's not the most isolating from the road. It grips the turn well. Ooh. And with this high red line, this car is a blast. All right, guys, we're currently in first gear. We're just gonna try first gear pull, see if it puts the power down on the gas. Oh yeah. Ooh. Yeah, brakes feel surprisingly good for single pistons. Throwing it in tight. Ooh. What a blast to drive. This car might be underrated when it comes to power. I feel like this may have more than 181 horsepower, but then again, I've really never driven a vehicle anywhere close to this light, so maybe the weight just really does play that big of a factor to it. I apologize for my shaky bracket. I know it's making a little bit of noise. One more time on the gas. It's just so fun to drive. Come back out here through the roundabout. We're not going to beat on it nearly as hard as we've been. Just admiring the smoothness of the steering. Throwing it in again. Yeah. Woo. I'm loving loving it, guys. I was really not expecting to have this much fun driving the 2023 Miata. I can only imagine how much more fun it would be driving a club version of the Miata, but even this Grand Touring is a blast. All right, guys, taking a step out onto this multiple lane highway. We'll lean into it one more time. First gear on the gas. Yeah. We're going to have to beat it up a whole lot further. Throwing right back into sixth gear. At around 60 miles per hour, we're turning at 2,500 RPM. And with this ragtop convertible, you hear a little bit of wind noise. The road noise is decently limited. And leaning into the gas pedal in sixth gear at speed, you don't feel a ton of power, but it still feels powerful enough. All right, guys, one more time. First gear on the gas. This high-revving 2-liter 4-cylinder is so much fun, but I hope you can pick up this wind noise. It is definitely noticeable. It's not a big deal, but if you're used to sports cars from like BMW, this is definitely a much more noisy vehicle, but it's also just as playful. And compared to like a 4-cylinder Z4, which will do 0 to 60 around 5.5 seconds with a 2-liter turbo, this is really just as quick and half the price. If you're just looking for a small sports car that you can beat the crap out of, hit high-speed twisties in, looks good, has good engine note, and is just overall a blast to drive, this is really probably the best bang for the buck. And considering that this is a Grand Touring GT trim, we have Napa leather seats, we have leather stitch trim just about everywhere throughout this interior, 9-speaker Bose audio system, which bumps. Consider the tininess of this cabin and have 9 Bose speakers in here. This sounds like one of those 20-speaker Bowers & Wilkins systems that you would get from a BMW. Overall, guys, if you're looking for an entry-level sports car, don't listen to the haters about the Miata. This is an awesome car. You have very planted steering, the throttle feels responsive, the brakes feel good. I've driven Scion FRSs, Subaru BRZs. This feels like a much better sports car. If you're looking for an entry-level sports car, you don't want to spend more than $35,000 bucks, I would definitely recommend checking out the 2023 Mazda Miata. If you want some more premium features, the good sound system, the comfortable gushy seats, go for the GT for only an additional $4,000 or $5,000. This is a great way to go. And a big thanks to Ben at Furman Mazda in Brandon, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to their inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car or SUV in the Tampa area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out, and that's for Ben. And huge thanks to all of you for watching. I had a great time making this video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know the channel is just not possible without you, and I really appreciate the constant support. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too, it really helps me out the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment, let me know what you like, let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment, let me know if there's any specific cars, SUVs, or trucks you want to see reviewed on this channel, and I'll definitely try getting those videos for you ASAP. But other than that, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.